Are you a little worried that it's going to go to your head, especially with the
It's not going to go to my head.
Yeah.
The player's another concern.
Yeah.
But I think once I show Tiger's defensive film, once I show him some film of some of the defense we played against Arizona, we'll shrink it. It's your job as a coach. You got to get your team, make sure your team's feet get back on the ground. The one challenge in the Pac-12 that we don't have this week is when you win on Thursday, trying to make sure you get rested and ready to scrap for another win on Saturday. I love the Thursday, Saturday though, the travel partners and everything about it, but it is that's your biggest challenge. Now this week you got more time, let them get away, try to flush it all out of their system, and I think the way to do it this week is real simple. Just show them film of USC's defense. USC beating us at Pauley, and that ought to get their attention, I would hope.
How much difference is your team now than they were when they played SC the first time?
I think obviously, our record's a lot different, but it's still the same players, so the same matchups exist. We have the same problems from a size standpoint that they pose. To me, they have the best three big guy combination in America. And then what I would say to you guys, who's the best two guard in our league?
You going with Matthews there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, they're pretty good now. And you got to remember they've had some weird things with guys getting sick. Some things that have gone on that probably have affected a couple of games of their record. They're really good now.
Congo didn't even play well in the first time when they beat you here pretty handily, right?
He got foul trouble
Yeah.
early, which I don't think he ever really. But they didn't. Everybody else was playing so well. The way they made shots against us. Matthews and Vukovic dominated that game.
Mm-hmm.
And their two seniors really dominated that game.
Cody mentioned something about Tiger's hand after the game. Is he all right?
I'm looking at Alex. Yeah.
He's all right? Okay. You guys have gone 6. This is a good.
If it's not, I'm just going to act like it is.
Okay.
I'm going to tell him it is.
All right. 6-0. The second time you've played a Pac-12 team this year, which is pretty incredible. How have you? What's gone into that? The adjustments you made the second time you faced a team.
Well, first of all, I think let's be honest. We have to win close games. We're not a dominant team by any stretch. We're too young for that. I think the biggest thing for me would be give our players credit. You can do all. I think all coaches make adjustments. I know all coaches make adjustments. Can your players, implement the adjustments? And a lot of it, to be honest with you, Ben, is in game. Obviously, and it's the second time we play them. But the best laid plans don't always go the way you lay them, and you have to make some adjustments, like we did at Colorado in the second half. So I give our players all the credit. I think that's if I wanted to say any of you guys today, I think probably I've gotten too much credit. I haven't scored a basket. I think our players have become a team. We don't, we're not obviously a perfect machine, but our guys are playing to win. They care about each other, and they've learned to never give up. They refuse to surrender, and I think that's the key to our run, and that's a credit to them.
Coach, I know you're in the middle of it now, but can you identify kind of a buy-in moment, point?
See, I'm teasing. Look around. Everybody here's asked that question.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, I don't have one. No.
Okay.
No. I'll give you the answer that I've been giving them. There was never not buy-in. We just needed to learn how to play smarter at game time. So we had been practicing hard all year. It just wasn't manifesting itself in the games. So it just took us some time to play smarter, better shot selection, more intelligent defense, and gain experience and fairness. We're really young.
Did you first spot Jaime's instinct?
Yeah, you drove back up. Good to see you.
Jaime's instinct for the game. terms
Yeah.
of the plays that he makes that are kind of unprompted, especially on defense?
I would say, and the rebounding.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jaime, usually it takes a guy to a couple of years to really learn how to play as hard as you need to play at the college level. Not him. You know, you know, he's got, I guess, in the spirit of, I like boxing, so, you know, some of the great fighters, Julio Cesar Chavez, or, you know, he's got it in him. I mean, he's just got a great fighting spirit in him. He's just a tremendous competitor.
Have you guys looked at the bubble stuff? Are you guys talking about that, thinking about
I never talk about it with the team. You know, I just keep. We're in a one-game tournament, and they knew it. We all know it. Now we're in a one game to win the Pac-12 championship. You know, and we may have to share it, but you're one game to win the Pac-12 championship, so it's another one-game tournament. So yeah, we don't really. I think they're pretty well aware of all that. You know, I'm not. If you guys can figure out all the metrics and the stuff they spew, I can't. So it would be a complete waste of my time.
Well, it seems like the one thing that's getting a lot of criticism is the net, because even with you guys winning a ton of games, your net is still behind Washington's and Oregon State's, which doesn't make a lot of sense to some people.
Yeah, and I think Arizona lost twice and moved up. Somebody
Yeah.
told me. Alex told me.
Yeah.
Alex does a great job of keeping me informed. He's in charge of me and Bill Walton. So yeah, I'll be honest. How long has the net even been in?
This is the second
Couple
year.
years.
Second year.
Is it the second year?
Second year.
So when they put it out, I never read what it entailed. And so you need to know that, so you can. I think you guys got to coach basketball, teach basketball, and win games, or it's just not going to matter. You know, so I don't even know what goes into it to where I could criticize it. But I hear the same things everybody else hears. I just know, you know, I woke up at 5 a.m. today, and Vukocevic he just kept getting every rebound. He just kept scoring. I was all over Chris Smith. Practice didn't even till 10. So I mean, you know, you just got to worry about the stuff you can worry about. But I hear all that stuff. You know, I don't know. Those committee jobs. I tell you my experience with it. There's so many metrics. If you want to put a team in, you cite that metric. If you want to put them out, you cite another metric. I mean,
Yeah. Okongwu, what has made him so good as a freshman?
He can score with both hands. He's got great size. He can score with both hands. He's a tremendous rim runner, and he can block shots. So, you know, the only thing he really doesn't do is perimeter shoot. But I would just tell you, you know, my thing with SC is they're just barely behind Washington in field goal percentage defense in our league. They're really hard to score, especially in the paint. And then in their last 5 games, they've only given up 26% from 3. Now, some of that could be teams missing open shots, but they're hard to get a basket against, which is a huge concern.
How have you seen Jake kind of grow from the beginning of the season to the past few games?
One thing, Jake's never lacked for confidence. His coach got a lot smarter and put him in as the season went on. That tends to help, you know. I was guarding him pretty good at times, you know. So you can defend, you know, you can defend the guy by keeping him on the bench. No, you know, I think he's getting better defensively. He's learned he's never going to be a rebounder, but he's learned. I tell you, you got to at least get in the fight. So he's got in the fight and knocked some key rebounds where he's at least knocked it to a teammate. Not like he's going to elevate and get it, but he's, you know. So I told him, Larry Bird maybe wasn't a great defender, but he understood position defense and he knew how to get in the fight for a rebound. He couldn't get it, he batted it to a teammate. So he's learned how to enter the fight. But he's never lacked for confidence on offense.
Where do you see that confidence?
I think, you know, Jake's a guy that's always lived in the gym, and he believes in himself. You know, there was a game, an Arizona State game though, when he finally missed a shot, We got on the break, and I could see that nobody had him, and he was running right in front of me, and I knew I just yelled, "Shoot it again," and making sure he didn't pass up a shot because he missed. I yelled, "Shoot it again," and they hit him on the trail, and he made it again. So I'll take a little credit for that. No, but he doesn't need me to say that. He's going to shoot it again.
You were part of a big rivalry back in Cincinnati. Now with UCLA and USC, have you felt the gravity of that rivalry here?
No, it's not. It's
Not yet.
It'll never be like that. It's hard for you to understand. I'll never be a part of anything like I was with the crosstown rivalry in Cincinnati. It's just hard for me to describe it to you. Really, really hard for me. I mean, you know, we have a rivalry with SC, and it's football as well. We could play 3 times a year in basketball. You always play in football. Mm-hmm. There, it's one time. No football. Just, you know, one time, once a year, not the same conference. Just a whole different dynamic.
Did you say? Go ahead.
With the recent success, in regards to recruiting, has that been a little bit easier when talking to recruits? I know you can't talk about recruits specifically.
I will tell you that recruiting is never easy. You can, you obviously, with your players, you know, winning validates the things you talk about in the locker room. And the same thing, winning validates the things you're talking about with recruiting. So you hope that it obviously has a positive effect.
I think Sean was feeling some of those rivalry vibes.
No, Sean and I are good.
Yeah,
you know,
but he was pretty jacked up about the whole game.
I think, you know, I know him, and it's so hard to score on his teams. They lost Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, and he knew that. You know, I know him. He was not up for losing 2 in a row, and that's what's made him a great coach. And you know, now, and the other thing you don't know as a coach, especially me, I'm being new. You don't know backstories between coach and certain official.
Right.
So that's all stuff you never know what could go into that. In the old days in the pros, you know. That certain pro guys and certain officials,
Yeah.
you know, Mike Mathis and Charles Barkley never really got along, so you never know about stuff like that.
Did you send the guys over to celebrate with the students
Yeah.
afterward? What was that? Just an impromptu
Last home
thing?
game, I think it's just important. We're trying to develop a bond with our student body. You know, having students know that they can be our 6th man and feel part of our program, and making sure they know we appreciate it. And then the second thing is let the guys go have some fun, man. You know, it's a lot, you know, obviously, you know, you're teaching, you're coaching, it's serious, but there's got to be some fun to it. You know, you want a guy like Jaime Jaquez to look back on his career and he's in the middle of the student section. You know, and just know that picture went out to recruits.
What about the students who dressed up?
I think he was trying to get a date. That's what I think.
The students who dressed up as Sean, did you have any part of that?
I did not even see that.
Okay.
You know, again, sometimes I can't see over. Bill Walton was blocking. He was blocking. They really did that?
Yeah, there was like 15, 20 of them who wore the white shirt with like sweat and ties.
I'm just glad they were there. It was big. It was you know, it was a lot of fun to have them there. Hoping that some of them can find a way to get downtown on Saturday. That would be great.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Coach.